I was on with a stream with Nick Ricada on his birthday stream.
And tonight is my critically damaging to my own personal reputation birthday stream.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I was on with him last night, and there was a reporter there by the name of Megan Fox, not the actress.
Speaking of weird things, just kidding. Speaking of lovely things that I think are fantastic. What's up, Megan Fox? How you doing?
What an intro.
That's just the reporter's name. And she said some things that I sharply disagreed with when it came to dating, and expressed my opinion there too. And also there were some opinions expressed that suggested that women abusing men is a point of laughter. Because the woman is small and the man is big. And so this woman beating up on this man, if, for example, in the OnlyFans murder case, for example, where we saw the woman, hitting on this man, physically hitting on him in the elevator, there was a suggestion that it was a point of laughter or a point of mockery or a point of derision, that like it's a comedy punchline, like it's like some sort of sitcom where we're going to hear the laugh track. And I shut that shit down pretty hard.
Well, it wasn't there an elevator video where she's beating the shit out of him?
I mean, beating the shit out of him. Okay, this is like a 5'2" woman with a 12-inch waist and giant tits slapping a 230-pound black man, and like she's beating the shit out. I mean, it's popular on the internet to be like, oh, she's abusing him, but like, come on, like my wife has hit me before in like as a joke, and it's comedy, and like it's like, okay.
No, I don't think it is. I couldn't disagree more. I don't think women hitting men is funny at all.
No, I don't think it's funny either. But
yeah,
I'm like,
Nick. Nick, show us on the
danger.
job where Lady Rackets touched you.
I'm like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay because the woman is small and the man is big. That it's okay for the abuse. I just shut that shit down. Like the abuse is not funny. It is not a punchline. And so I shut that shit down. So I had 2 points. I had 2 points that I sat with. It's like, one, Megan, you have no idea what it's like to be a guy who's dating, because you don't. Not for at least the reasons that you're a girl. And second of all, you haven't dated in 20 years.
Admittedly, it was over 20 years ago when I was out there looking. Okay.
Yeah, I was out there too 20 years ago.
I've been married for 22 years.
And so, shut up, because you don't know what you're talking about on this issue. And two, and there in like that, that men she suggested men should just go to bookstores and hit on women.
Why not just like go to a bookstore and wander around and see if you run into someone hot? Like, I don't understand.
That's what Elliot Rodger did.
Megan, why would he go to a bookstore and try to run into someone hot when he could just go on Tinder and definitely run into someone hot?
Because they're obviously psycho. I mean,
well, can we also talk about like what Nicholas Sparks' book you're living in right now? Like,
and I felt very, very validated today in the sentencing hearing of the cop in Fort Worth who was convicted. I don't know how many of you saw it, but there was a woman who, like 18 years ago, 18 years ago, when she was in college and he was in college, he made an attempt to hit on this woman. Okay. She was in a library, apparently by herself or something, and she came up to him, or apologize, other way around. He came up to her and tried to hit on her in some way, and might have, as part of that process, brushed up against her breast or something. It was maybe or maybe it was more deliberate. I don't know. It was a very clumsy, perhaps, pickup attempt that didn't work, right?
Around November of 2004, did you have an incident with the defendant that happened
almost 18 years ago?
I leaned over the table to look at the day's headlines, and as I did so, Aaron Dean came up behind me, and he wrapped his arms around my torso, and his hand grazed underneath my breast at the cup or the cradle of the brassiere that I was wearing. as he did so, he leaned into my ear and he whispered something to the effect of, "Does anyone know how great you are?" I believe that's what he said.
I think she was 18 at the time. She started college early, I understand. So I think she might have been a senior and 18 at the same time, because I think she started college early, if I understood correctly. Anyways, he tried to pick her up and it didn't work. And apparently she was so traumatized by this experience that she reported it to Student Affairs, Judicial Services. And she wrote a 5-page letter concerning the thing, which she saved for 18 years. This 5-page letter, she saved it. And I'm like, this woman is validation to me of basically everything I was saying. Of like, oh, it's just that, yeah, she's like, oh, just go out and, talk to women in grocery stores or bookstores. And I'm like, and then I was watching this thing today with this woman who for 18 years ago, when she was 18 and he was maybe 22 or something, I'm not quite sure, but whatever, that there was this pickup attempt where he said, "Oh, I'm beautiful. I think you're really attractive," and tried to maybe get physical with her a little bit. She didn't like it. And apparently that was the end of it. And then she wrote a 5-page letter saying how much she hated it. And 18 years later, she's testifying against him at his manslaughter sentencing. Me too. And I'm like, wow. So I felt very, very validated by all that. So, anyways, it's not safe for men out there. It's not safe for men. And men, men get rejected all the time, and that can really play on a men's psyche and make you feel unloved and unwelcomed and rejected. Being rejected all the time makes you feel rejected. Amazing, right? It's like, that really can screw with your psychology. And I don't know about anyone else. I don't know if it was just me, but Megan Fox, the reporter, had this look on her face the entire time that I interpreted as being very condescending and derisive.
Kurt, it's not personal.
And you gotta wipe that smarmy ass look off your face, like that fake faux compassion bullshit you got going on.
Oh shit.
I found her facial expression to be condescending, paternalistic, and condescendingly compassionate, mockingly compassionate. And I didn't really like it very much. And I expressed some thoughts. Let me tell you what it's like to be a guy on Tinder. Let me tell you what it's like for someone like me to be on Tinder. And how hard it is for me to find a match. Have you looked at and these numbers are actually fairly objective. If you look at OkCupid has done some statistics on this, and they look at bell curve acceptance rates. The acceptance rates for guys are horrific. Well, you have a buffet of men who have approached themselves to you, but you select the top percent of men without even noticing that you're doing it.
That's not true. It's not true.
Well, you're not dating everyone. Of course it's true. You have to be selective.
No, I haven't. My husband that I've been married to for 22 years.
He's not the best. You married someone other than the best you could find.
What you would consider to be top.
I didn't say who I'd consider. I said who you'd consider. At the time your husband approached you, how many men were trying to approach you?
This isn't a cross-examination. This isn't a cross.
No, she's trying to tell me about my life. I'm not going to accept this bullshit. She's trying to tell me what it's like to be a guy and how it's like to find dating. I'm not going to accept this bullshit.
I have no clue what is out there in the dating situation.
Then shut up.
But human beings.
I'm trying to tell you.
Kurt, I'm not.
You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. And I stand by pretty much everything I said. Oh, and then she also did this thing where she's like, okay, I'm not expressing an opinion, but XYZ. And I'm like, that's an opinion. She's like, okay, she says something like, and I'm paraphrasing here. She says, I'm not giving an opinion as to people as to what they should do. I'm not giving an opinion as to what people should do. I'm just suggesting that people should get out in the real world and socialize with each other in the real world and get off the online space.
I'm not giving anyone advice. I'm asking the question, why don't people go outside?
Megan is speaking from her personal experience. It doesn't match.
Because Nick is streaming. How can they go outside? They've got stuff to watch at home.
I'm not giving any advice. I'm saying the way it's better is to just go out in your community and meet people. Now, if that doesn't work now, because 2022 is whatever fucked up reality this is, and women act in terribly fucked up ways. And by the way, I literally wrote the book on it, so I know how they behave. Women they lie and do all sorts of bullshit. I report on family court, so you think I don't know? I do know how women are. I get it, okay? I'm saying perhaps the internet and all this social dating shit was a mistake and is a mistake, and we need to get back to actually interacting with one another on a actual personal level. I'm not giving you advice. I'm saying, why don't you? I was asking the question.
And I'm like, dude, that's an opinion as to what other people should do. It was weirdest thing. It was really weird thing. She says, okay, I'm not giving an opinion as to how other people should behave or how other people should do. I'm suggesting that people should get out in the real world and get off the boxes, get off the computers, and get off the online dating, and they should socialize in the real world and meet up in the real world. And I'm like, how's that not an opinion as to what people should do? How is that not prescriptive? It was a very weird exchange. Who was there? It was a very weird exchange. And like, okay, I'm not telling people what they should do. We should get off the computers and we should go into the real world and socialize. And also online isn't real. Also, online isn't real. It isn't real. And I'm like, well, that's really a strange proposition, since lots of people have met, dated, and got married based off online, but online isn't real.
There's a difference
online is not real. None of this is real.
No, I'm saying there's a difference between online and in person.
I've hooked up with a lot of real girls, man.
The in-person.
Amazing. Online isn't real. I would have sworn that people are meeting and even getting married based on online. It's amazing, but it's none of it's real. No, she said online's not real. No one meets online and dates online and gets married online. None of it's
Megan,
real.
Don't you think it's safer though?
I've never.
Oh, they do. So it is real.
Online. This is what I'm trying to say.
Seems like a strange proposition, but this was the argument. I should find the entire stream and I should do commentary over the entire stream. Just be like, and interrupt myself and basically just do commentary. Maybe I'll do a live react to myself. Just do commentary over the whole thing.